If your life feels like it's repeating itself, if every morning feels like déjà vu, same doubts, same fatigue, same quiet panic echoing inside your chest, it's not a coincidence. It's not bad luck. It's not the world holding you back. It's the absence of reinvention. Most people don't live 80 years. They live 1 year on repeat 80 times. Routine becomes prison. Comfort becomes captivity. And potential buried beneath excuses. But there is a moment, rare, sacred, defiant, when a man or woman says, enough. Enough of the noise. Enough of the waiting. Enough of living as half a flame in a world that demands fire. If you are hearing this, then that moment is now. Because the truth is this: you don't need permission to reinvent your life. You need principles. 10 unbreakable rules carved not in stone, but in struggle, in failure, in fire. Follow these rules, and your life will not just change, it will be reborn. Rule 1, burn the old blueprint. You cannot build a new life using the scaffolding of your past. Tear it down. The beliefs that told you you're too late, too broken, not enough? Lies. You weren't born to conform to the script handed down by fear. You were born to write your own. Abraham Lincoln failed in business, lost elections, and suffered deep personal tragedy. Yet he rose to become one of the most revered leaders in history. Why? Because he dared to discard the blueprint of defeat. He saw himself not as a man of misfortune, but a man of mission. You must do the same. Question every belief that built your current life. Ask yourself, who told me this was all I could be? And then burn their words to ash. You cannot become new while defending the old. Rule 2, declare your dominion. The world will give you exactly what you're willing to settle for, nothing more. So stop whispering your dreams and start declaring them like battle cries. There is power in making a decision, not a wish, not a hope, a decision, one so firm the universe cannot ignore it. Henry Ford didn't wait for the world to approve of his vision. He didn't ask permission to change how the world moves. He decided. When asked if he listened to customer demands, he said, "If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses." Reinvention requires defiance. It requires that you stop waiting to be chosen and choose yourself. Declare your path, even if your voice shakes. Because until you decide who you are, the world will decide for you. Rule 3, make pain your mentor. Most people run from pain. That's why they never grow. But if you want to reinvent your life, you must face pain, not as an enemy, but as a teacher. Pain sharpens. Pain strips away illusion. Pain delivers truth in a language comfort can never speak. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times trying to create the light bulb. And when asked about it, he didn't call them failures. He said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's not just resilience. That's mastery through pain. Your past does not define you. Your scars are not shame. They are inke, proof that you've endured. Let your wounds teach you. Let your disappointments refine you. The life you want is waiting on the other side of the pain you're avoiding, so run toward it, study it, outgrow it. Rule 4, live with violent clarity. Most people wander. They don't live. They drift. Why? Because they've never gotten crystal clear about what they actually want. If you don't define your vision, distraction will. Every ad, every notification, every opinion, they will hijack your attention until you are living someone else's agenda. Walt Disney had a vision in the middle of bankruptcy and ridicule. He was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Let that sink in. The man who built an empire of dreams was told he had none. He could have quit, but his vision burned too brightly, so he built anyway, while broke, while mocked, while ignored, and now his vision has outlived him. That is the power of clarity. Write your vision. Read it every day. Speak it aloud until it echoes through your spine. Clarity turns confusion into conviction. Without it, you will chase shadows. With it, you will command mountains. Rule 5, break your patterns or they will break you. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. If you want to reinvent your life, you need to audit your habits like a detective chasing a criminal. Because every day you are either reinforcing your future or repeating your past. Morning routine, evening routine, the way you speak to yourself, they matter. Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest men in history, was obsessed with discipline. Not just wealth, but structured discipline. He once said, "As I grow older, I pay less attention to what men say. I just watch what they do." That's it. Your life is not built on intentions. It's built on repetitions. Change your inputs, and your output, the life you see around you, will change. If you always do what you've always done, you will always be who you've always been. You want reinvention? Then destroy the rituals that serve your weakness and build the habits that serve your power. Rule 6, discipline is your deliverance. Forget motivation. Motivation is a spark, gone with the wind. Discipline is the furnace that never stops burning. If you're waiting to feel like doing the work, you've already lost. Reinvention is not a feeling. It's a decision. Repeated in silence when no one is watching. It's waking up early, not because it feels good, but because it builds you. It's showing up when every voice in your head screams for comfort. The most successful people on this planet don't feel like it either. They do it anyway. Because their discipline is not emotional, it's integrated. It's not a task, it's an identity. They don't say, "I'll try." They say, "I do." Think of Nikola Tesla. He worked tirelessly, isolated, misunderstood, mocked. But his discipline carved technologies generations ahead of his time. While others slept, he studied. While others waited, he built. You say you want to reinvent your life, then forge a code of non-negotiables. Treat them as sacred. You don't negotiate with your greatness, you obey it. Rule 7, kill the noise. You cannot become who you're meant to be while drowning in the voices of who they want you to be. The noise is everywhere. Social media, gossip, doubt, comparison. 1,000 voices whispering, "Stay small." But the giants of history, they did not seek consensus. They lived in truth, even if that truth made them outcasts. Rosa Parks did not rise by following instructions. She rose by refusing to move, one silent act that echoed across the world. Your silence, your solitude, your detachment from the herd, that is not weakness. That is focus. Sometimes, to hear your own voice, you must disconnect from every other, unfollow the chaos, unplug the algorithm, unsubscribe from doubt. Reinvention requires a kind of holy rebellion. You must become deaf to distractions and loyal to your calling. Rule 8, build inner wealth before external success. What good is a mansion when the man inside it is miserable? What value is power when your spirit is starving? The world has convinced us that success is out there, but it has always been within. Inner wealth is peace under pressure. It's confidence without applause. It's self-worth that doesn't shatter with criticism. No one embodied this more than Marcus Aurelius, an emperor, yet still a philosopher. One of the most powerful men alive, yet he wrote to himself daily. Reminder, courage compounds. The more you practice it, the more it becomes instinct. Speak up when it terrifies you. Act when it's uncomfortable. Say yes when doubt tries to say no. Your new life is hiding behind a door labeled FEAR. Open it anyway. Rule 10, reinvent daily. Reinvention is not a one-time event. It is a daily choice. Every day you wake up with two options: repeat yesterday or recreate tomorrow. And most people choose repetition because it's easy. But you are not most people. You will choose the path of the few, the path of pressure, of practice, of transformation. You will wake up and ask not, what should I do, but who must I become? That question changes everything, because when you stop focusing on what's missing and start focusing on who you need to be to create it, you become unstoppable. Winston Churchill said, to each there comes in their lifetime a moment when they are figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered the chance to do something unique to their talents. He added, what a tragedy if that moment finds them unprepared or unqualified for the work. Don't let that be you. Reinvention is not luck. It's not genetics. It's not timing. It's daily, radical ownership of your life. It's refusing to be the same person tomorrow that you were today. It's choosing to evolve, to expand, to exceed the limits you were handed. And in doing so, you become someone the world has never seen before. You were not born to merely exist. You were not placed on this earth to drift through decades, numbing your pain with distractions, burying your greatness beneath comfort. You were born to shape time, to leave fingerprints on destiny, to disrupt the ordinary and make the impossible your foundation. But the truth is harsh. The majority will never taste their potential, not because they weren't capable, but because they didn't have the courage to begin. They waited for a sign, for someone to believe in them, for perfect timing. But perfection is the dream of the paralyzed. The courageous don't wait. They act and let the world adjust. Think of Nelson Mandela, locked away for 27 years. Yet he emerged not broken, but reborn, not bitter, but unstoppable. His reinvention didn't happen in comfort. It happened in a cell, with no freedom, no power, and no applause. Because reinvention is not about circumstances. It's about decision. You decide who you become. No storm, no critic, no failure can cancel that power. Only you can. So now ask yourself, how long will you betray the greatness within you? How long will you protect a version of yourself that was built from fear? How long will you choose the numbness of familiarity over the fire of transformation? Because the clock is ticking, not just the clock on your wall, but the clock on your soul. Every day you hesitate, your future fades. Every excuse is a brick in the prison you built with your own hands. But every act of courage, a crack in the wall, every step forward, a signal to the universe. I am no longer hiding. This world does not belong to the timid. It belongs to the ones who rise, the ones who walk alone if they must, the ones who rebuild from ashes, the ones who stare down regret and say, you will not own me. So here's the truth. You are one decision away from a new life, not someday, not when you feel ready, not when you've healed every wound or figured out every step. Now, this moment, right here, right now, is a doorway. On one side, everything you've known. On the other, everything you could become. But that door does not open with a wish. It opens with will. It opens with fire in your gut, conviction in your chest, and a quiet whisper in your mind that says, no more. No more excuses. No more waiting. No more shrinking to fit the mold. You were not born to blend in. You were born to break through. So stand up, breathe in, feel your heart pounding like a war drum, and repeat these words with every cell in your body. I will no longer live on autopilot. I will reinvent. I will rise. I will become the version of myself I was always destined to be. Not someday, today, because greatness is not something you wait for. It's something you decide. And when you do, the world will try to catch up, but you'll already be gone, too far ahead, too focused, too forged in fire to ever go back. This is your new beginning. Welcome to the life you were born to live.